Hey guys, I just thought I hadn't done a video in a while and that maybe I needed to do one just as a little bit of a, summary of my story and a little bit about my progress, where I'm at the moment, because I know I did a few videos a while ago and obviously my situation is very different at the moment to when I did those videos. But I realized that I hadn't really done a summary of how I found out about TSW, just kind of the process that I got, that I went through to getting to where I am today. So I guess I'll just start with, I've had eczema all my life. Well, as far as I remember having it in primary school. Obviously, the advice from the doctor was topical steroid cream, which was fine. I used it, fantastic, it would work. If ever I was having a flare, I would just whack a bit on. Throughout the years, I've used all sorts of different potencies. Occasionally, if it was getting a bit bad, I'd go back to the doctor and say, look, my eczema's not so good. He would give me a slightly stronger one. I never had it on my face. It was mostly just parts of my body. And so it's pretty manageable with the skin, with the creams. And then one day, when I was about 20, in my 20s, early 20s, I started to realize that my eczema was, it was changing. It was in a different spot. So I was getting it on my eyelids and things like that, which was weird because I'd never ever gotten it anywhere like that before. And I was getting this really red, like flaky patches, which I had never had before. It was always just kind of like a red rash. Sorry, I'm just seeing if my baby's awake. Yeah, so I thought this is a bit different, it's a bit weird. And I wasn't living at home, so I wasn't seeing my normal doctor. So I went to a different doctor and they prescribed me a different steroid that I'd never used before. And I started using it and I used it on my face and it helped a little bit, but as time went on, I realized that it really wasn't helping. It was, if anything, making it worse. And so I just started doing a little bit of online research just to see like what's going on. And I had seen in a few online threads people talking about withdrawing from steroid creams, which I thought was a little bit weird because I didn't think it was something that you had to withdraw from. But as I delved deeper into my internet searching, yeah, I found all sorts of information, all sorts of stories of people who had gone through this steroid withdrawal, and the way that they were describing their skin at the beginning of their journey sounded so similar to what was happening with my skin. And I don't think at the time I realized the gravity of that and what I was about to go through for the next 3 years. So yeah, about 3 years ago, I started withdrawing. I thought, okay, well, from tomorrow, I'm not going to use the steroids anymore. Immediately, my skin, I would say within a day, my eyes started puffing up. My face was so swollen. My skin was red, sore to touch, like it was like burning. This was within a day or so of stopping using the steroids. So I knew, okay, this is it. Something's happening here. Progressively, it got worse and worse. I couldn't do anything. I was stuck on the couch. So I thought, I can't do this. This is too hard. So I went back to the doctor. By this point, I was back in the area where my regular doctor is. So I went back to my regular doctor. He said, no, you shouldn't be taking this steroid. Take this steroid. And I said, okay. Still feeling a bit wary, but thinking perhaps I could make some lifestyle changes, some diet changes, and wean myself off the steroids. It turns out that taking those or using those steroids that second time, after I'd already started withdrawing, was probably the worst decision I could have possibly made, because it didn't make it better, it made it worse. And then when I stopped again, because I said, okay, well, this is it. My skin has said, no, this is not gonna work for me anymore. I stopped using them and my skin blew up. So basically what I mean when I say that is my entire body was like red, raw, burning skin. It was oozing, it was bleeding, it was flaking. I know that's disgusting to hear, but it was literally hell. I could barely open my eyes. I could hardly get food in my mouth to chew. I couldn't cry. I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything. The itch was absolutely unbearable, and you could never satisfy it until you had torn your skin to shreds. Like this was actually torture. Like it was horrible. And I was probably like that for about 3 months. During that time, I went on a very, very strict diet. And yeah, within about 3 or 4 months, my skin was pretty much clear again, with no steroids, no nothing, just going from that horrific skin with basically just sitting up on the couch. I couldn't sleep. I could probably sleep maybe 10 minutes at a time, to relatively clear skin. And so I said, okay, well, this is this is it. This works for me. This is what's working for me. I kind of went backwards on my diet when I started to get better again. As winter came again, I started to decline again. So it's been kind of that way in my journey for about 3 years. So generally in winter, my skin gets really bad again, but never ever as bad as it was those first 4 months. That was horrific, but it has dipped kind of close. And then as I've been going through the journey, the flares have become shorter, they've become less intense. So this time last year, my skin was pretty bad. It's hard to say as well, because last year I was pregnant, and during my pregnancy, I think, my body was just under so much pressure that my skin did flare up again. But every single time it's been able to repair itself without any steroid creams, without, minimal moisturizer, anything like that. Yeah, so at the moment today, my skin is pretty good. We're in winter at the moment. We're kind of in the thick of it, and my skin has been really good. Pretty clear, a little bit dry in some places, but nothing I can't handle. This is completely just with my body doing what it needed to do, and just being more healthy in my lifestyle. I guess the reason why I'm saying that is because every time I go to the doctor and they see any kind of skin issue, they immediately say, oh, and I'll give you some steroids for that. Especially my pregnancy, because I saw a few different doctors during my pregnancy, and they loved to tell me that I needed steroids, and I just politely declined and said, oh, I get adverse reaction from steroids, so I don't use them. But that just seems to be a thing that keeps happening, just like steroids. But I'm saying, like, for me, I managed to heal without using steroids. So I'm just saying that that's possible. I also felt like I needed to do this video because I have a little baby girl now, and she has little bits of eczema here and there. I don't put steroids on, and I don't have any judgment or anything on people who do use steroid cream or put it on their kids, whatever, because you have to do what you need to do. I guess I just felt like because of what I went through, it was important for me to just share my story, just so that people were a little bit more informed, because at the end of the day, most of the doctors that you go to will tell you to use them, and I think for a lot of people it's okay. But for me, it wasn't. And for a lot of other people I know who have gone through this journey, and the number is increasing significantly, it is absolute hell. It's absolute hell. Like, that's really the only way I can describe it. Like, there were many times that I wanted to die. There were many times that I thought, I can't do this. This is really too painful for me. Yeah, so I just felt like it was important to just let people know that this is something that happened for me, and it's happened for other people as well, and to just be informed. So if your doctor tells you to use something, just do a little bit of research, or, you know, that's basically, yeah, one thing I wanted to just put in here. Yeah, just to keep informed and educated, and not just use everything, because for me, for years and years, I was prescribed steroid creams, and not one time did a doctor say, like, I would have used them for like over 20 years, not one time did a doctor say to me, you should only use these for a short period of time. You know, your body can have side effects from these creams. Not once. It was just, this is a miracle cream and this is going to fix your skin. And it does fix your skin until it doesn't. And so, yeah, I just felt like that was important for me personally. And yeah, just to give an update and to, I guess, encourage people who are maybe just starting their journey or are halfway through their journey, that it does get so much better. And I mean, you have to stick with it. I want to say, you know, just stick with it. But once you're in that withdrawal process, you're stuck there until your body sorts itself out. And, you know, I don't know all the scientific stuff about it, but I do know that it's helped me significantly, not using the steroids anymore. Now my skin is probably better than it ever was when I was using them, even, you know, for that 20 years before I was going through the withdrawal. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for now. Yeah, so for those of you who are going through topical steroid withdrawal at the moment, that sucks, and I know how you feel, and I'm here for you. If you have any questions as well, so if anybody has any questions, they can always just ask. Also, oh, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, so I would say go onto the ITSAN website for more information. It's ITSAN, and it has a whole bunch of information on there about topical steroid withdrawal, also known as red skin syndrome, if you want to know more information. And they should be able to help you there. Also, like, if you just type in topical steroid withdrawal into Instagram, or even just a Google search, you'll find thousands and thousands and thousands of stories of people who are going through this or have been through it. Yeah, so that's all. I think I've spoken for way too long, but I thought I needed to get that out there. And this is just a one take thing. Like, I haven't edited this or anything. So yeah, there would have been, I'm just kind of rambling, I guess I would say. I haven't written anything down even. I've just said all this off the top of my head. So sorry if it went a little bit random, or there was a few bits where I had to think about what I was saying. Anyway, that's all. That's pretty much my story. I've got 1,000 other things I could say about the things that I use to help me get through. I might do another video on that, I'm not sure. But yeah, I just thought it was important to do at least, this is what I went through. If your doctor prescribes you steroid creams, you know, well, just do your research. If they prescribe you anything, just do your research. Anyway, that's all. Okay, bye.